myself want. Just as a matter of the fact, I just don't want to say anything about anybody else in my life ever, because if I will be saying, I will be talking about anybody, that will be making no sense in my life, because I will never talk in my mice, my MIES mice. That will mean like in my selflessness or not, but definitely in my selfishness or not, but definitely in love of me, I could be not at all going to say something about myself like Christ, because I'm not at all trying to make sure I could be like getting myself like I could be getting my base done in my soccer field. I have to be getting myself like out the thing on everybody else. When I could be like doing some dribble dodging stuff with my football skills, because it's not at all a matter of the fact for myself what I'm not at all getting on anybody else, because my gamemates are like they like too torturous for me to being handled about, because they could be like choking my games and taking me out from the water, because I'm not going to do something that is kind of throttling myself like over and over, because I'm getting myself being kind of a done, so as to say that I'm not kind of like living loose off for everybody else or myself to like forsake to always have like fake like safe to say for myself to like safe living say about to say that glow, because I'm not totally being fooled by anybody else about for the flow. And just as a matter of the fact, I'm trying to get myself into some kind of like reason or kind of obnoxious in my mind, because my obnoxiousness is going to make sure that I will be getting myself being kind of a killer on everybody else. This is not at all meaning of the time, because my meaninglessness is not at all like fluxing or simplification for myself, because I could be getting myself being kind of like courted and people are trying to get themselves like away from myself at the same kind of one. I don't know what I could be like making myself being kind of like cancelling, lingering, and really kind of loitering about, because I'm not kind of getting myself like procrastinating about some stuff that has to be like spoken by myself, and I could be coming up with my rapping rhyme, or maybe kind of rapping verses at the speed, or without with the speed. I could be like getting myself at the same kind of pace at every time, because my time is trying to make sure I could be like let it all strike for myself activity, because I could be giving everybody else to kind of a ways to like home across and kind of because I'm combing my hair in a kind of straight way, because I'm not all going to get a broad brush for myself in a million of the time, because my millionaire is not all jacked up for myself sake, because I'm looking for like just a position by anybody else and respective base for myself, giving me no kind of excuse for myself one, because my one for myself is not at all getting myself at the same way that I've just about for everybody else to go across some place that I could be talking about, because my mouth is getting filled by froth with my saliva. I could be not at all being to come up with any kind of rap at the same time, because I have to be like engulfing them or gulping them so as to getting myself to continuing with the rap. I don't know what I could be like thinking in myself into so as to make sure I could be having to be not at all being able to produce any stuff or any kind of mucus in my out in order to get myself being able to do the what I could be having to be like sorted out with myself, like ability to like speculate what has to be done in order to like my anticipation has not been for like being to make sure that to be giving a win about myself one, and at the same time I'm also trying to get myself being at the same kind of a like area OUREA for myself, because it's kind of Oreo for myself, it's not kind of like Oreo for myself like food, because my kind of ways to like group about myself is also grouping on everybody else to get themselves at a like feel for myself, like reluctance for myself to drive them out myself at a way that I'm not really driven across myself sad, because my ways to like getting myself being at a pace and not all getting on everybody else to do some kind of mistake and a mistake for homogeneous ways to say that I can be mischievous for myself, deviations or kind of like getting myself being kind of deviated in kind of ways, because at the power of my son choose face not kind of getting myself being kind of homophobic for myself, because I'm not kind of like driven by any kind of psychic activity, because my psychic nature for myself is like cutting my tongue in some kind of ways, because I'm not getting myself being kind of like tongue with dirt or kind of like anecdote for myself to say. But I'm trying to make myself like safely saying something has to be like said by myself at some kind of like ways. Someday people will be trying to take myself as some kind of advantage, but I'm not going to give any kind of advantage to anybody else, because these kind of people they will never be able to do something that has to be like said. And people still try to get myself being done to some kind of like excuses or kind of like excuse that has to be done, because my like access from my excuse AXECUAC. I mean, excuse that is not all mean by my some kind of like being to say that I could be asking for sorry, but excuse my should say that I could be like saying that there's another kind of thing that has to be talking about is like I could be like excusing them, because I'm accusing them with X, but if we're excusing them, say some kind of ways that I could be like them things like I'm not like saying things that have to be happening in my life, because they could be like acting on my feet and getting myself being completely disabled, getting myself like completely waiting to want to like limp walk, because I'm not kind of wanting to walk on the limp, and this is some kind of fact that has to be done by everybody else to the other one, but not all me, but definitely by me to everybody else has to be the case. That's what I'm doing for everybody else. It's not all going to give everybody else to survive my kind of pace, because my pace is not really being kind of an pace anything or kind of like compassed by anybody else, because my vindictive nature is killing on everybody else, rather I'm not really getting anybody else to get themselves anyway, so they could be getting themselves being kind of killed, because my killing activities are not kind of like at par with anybody else, because my ways to say that I could not really talk about anybody else to say, and people still try to get myself being kind of like exclusively or kind of like exclusively getting myself being kind of done to say that I'm to talk kind of bunny wasn't kind of like banal for everybody else, because my base is superfluous or kind of mellifluous is not only mellifluous at myself to say, because I'm not safe to saying something that has to be done, because my vocal activity is taking everybody else some kind of way that has not really been kind of done, because my business for myself is not kind of safe to say, but kind of like handling for the game being kind of handled by anybody else, because I'm talking about man handling or kind of like women handling or kind of man handling as some kind of ways, because what it needs to be handled is like I'm kind of masturbating for myself stuff to make sure that we handle myself in some kind of super noxious way, because I don't know what I could be like doing or dealing with some kind of stuff, because my stuff is not kind of dealt by myself, because some of deadly stuff is not kind of like getting myself kind of like deadly or kind of like deadly do for myself, I'm able to say, and people still try to say that they could be talking some kind of bullshit, and my feet is not kind of like bullying on everybody else at the end of the day.